Welcome back. All right, so summer's almost here. The hockey season's almost done. Then there's the draft, there's free agency, and then summer. So I start pre-recording videos during the summer for when we go on holiday. I started that last summer and it was great. And I intend to do that with this channel as well. So one thing I didn't do last time out, I didn't pre-record anything for the entertainment guy. I think this time around I should. Now I'm going to have to pre-record a lot, which is why during the summer I like to do playlists. I don't have a playlist on this channel, but I could. One thing I've thought about doing is my favorite songs list, which has definitely changed since the last time I did it. Favorite movies could be done as well. That's definitely changed since the last time I did it. Although, in the end, people get upset with what my favorite things are because it's not what they like. For instance, is The Godfather in my top 100 favorite movies? Nah, not really. I I've never been able to sit through the whole thing in one sitting. It's a great movie, sure, but when it's your favorite, if it was technically well-made movies, but that's not necessarily favorite. Same with music. My favorite music is going to be different than somebody else's, and it may not be. Like, for instance, even as a Zeppelin fan, man, I was tired of Stairway. I just so much Stairway. So we'll see if I do something like that, or maybe favorite TV show stuff like that. But today I booked our flight to Las Vegas. So that's one more step down. Now, we've had to do this in portions because it does get pricey when you're looking at a Las Vegas and a Disneyland trip. But this was the plan in 2020. We had our flights. We had everything booked. We had to cancel the whole thing 3 years ago. So if I cause a pandemic, I'm sorry because apparently I'm basically calling this the revenge for 2020, yeah, revenge for 2020 festivities. So apologies if some other horrible catastrophe breaks out because my wife and I are planning on going to Vegas and then Disneyland, and we're doing it without the children. The kids are going to be off and doing other things, and so we're going down, and we're honestly really stoked about it. So Vegas will be from August 10th to 13th. So we arrive on the 10th, leave on the 13th. And then we get into Anaheim for the Disneyland portion of the trip. And it's going to be interesting because the Disneyland trip goes from the 14th to the 19th. So our first day in the park is the 14th. And we have an off day in the middle there during that where we're going to have, meet up and talk to subscribers and things of that nature. The Vegas one, I'm not sure if we're going to have time for that meetup because we're only there for a few days as it is. So we're going to want to squeeze in a few different things for ourselves during that trip. I am sure Yvonne's going to want to catch a show while we're there. And so, yeah, it is a bit longer than our normal trip. I would say by 2 days than a normal trip. But our time in Vegas is much shorter than we're normally. Normally, we go to Vegas and we just relax and settle down. And we do shopping. We do not gamble in Vegas. We do not drink in Vegas. I think I've bought 2 drinks out of the 4 trips we've been down there. And gambling, not really. We do some through the free apps that we have our Vegas points on, which works. Last time out, we both won about $90. It's like, all right, so that's some spending money. So basically what happens is you play these apps on your phone. The one that I play all the time is the My Konami. And so you get these points for playing. So you get points just for playing and it racks up. And then those points, when you get to Las Vegas, you can use to get free gambling. You can use it to get free trips on the monorail, which we used last time as well. And I've got about 800,000 points saved up. So between now and August, I can probably get it up over 800,000. I'll do my best to make that happen. And we can use that for the gambling again because we're going to be staying at the Aria. So staying at the Aria means you can use, because I think it's 2 or more days, then you can use the gambling. And again, it's nice to have a little bit of spending money. A little bit of cash is nice to have while you're there. I'm always nervous about having cash on hand when I travel, but once I'm there, it's not as stressful. You do have to watch your pockets on the strip, though. You do have to watch that. But being at the Aria, we're right in the middle, and it's a pricey week, so I'm gonna have to make sure. Like, they make you put down a deposit. I think it's 10% of the cost. So I'm gonna have to make sure I've got that all figured out. Last time out, we had to actually use Yvonne's credit card because my bank card said no. So at a smaller amount, my bank card's like, yep, cool. And as soon as the price comes up, they're like, no, I'm going to say no to that. Nope. Nope. Even though I have a Visa debit card through my bank. And then the Disneyland trip we're gonna have paid off before we go on that trip. We just don't have the flights yet to Anaheim from Vegas or home from Anaheim, but that'll be easy enough. We keep our eye on the prices, and I got a good deal today. I found a really good deal. I was like, all right. I had to double check because I knew I had a membership with Spirit. It's like, is it still paid? Yep, it's still paid. So the fact that I still have a paid membership with Spirit, which we haven't flown on in years, it just it's going to come in handy now. I saved some money by using the Spirit. Although the upgrade now to first class, that used to be $6 a person, which fine, that was no problem. Now it's $42 a person. On Spirit, they don't give you like freebies like they do on Alaska, but Alaska was really, really pricey. They wanted $409 US to travel from Seattle to Las Vegas per person, and the combined cost for us to go on Spirit was about that. So I saved about 50%. Although I didn't get first class, I still got near the front of the plane. First row behind first class, it'll be fine. And then there's not as much legroom with Spirit, but I'm shorter, so it doesn't really bother me much. So it's going to be a fun trip. I'm looking forward to doing this in August and making sure that, between now and then, I make sure that I have enough content uploaded. I do like doing videos when we travel. I absolutely do. And obviously with Disneyland, there will be a lot of videos on this channel for that trip. There will definitely be some on this channel as well for when we're in Las Vegas. We also like to do live streams while we're on holiday, at least to some extent. Although I don't know if we'll do a live stream during that trip or not. Because in Disneyland, the Wi-Fi can be a little bit spotty. Although this time out, we'll see how it works out for us. We're actually going to try staying at one of the Disney hotels. So fingers crossed that maybe we'll have a really good connection. We could do a live stream. But of course, when you're in the States, you have to pay the fees, and we go through TELUS. And the fees now for your American data, really, really high. Last time out when we came back from Disneyland, it took me a couple of months to get caught up on that. So gonna have to watch that this time out. We're gonna be out of the country for a while, so fingers crossed that I get that all figured out. But it's gonna be fun. It's going to be a fun trip. It'll be the first trip that Yvonne and I have taken alone in, well, it'll be a year since we went to Vegas last year. And that was definitely a fun trip. But we've never done Disney by ourselves. So we're looking forward to that. That should be a really fun one. So, yeah. And if you're in Las Vegas, or if you're going to be in the Anaheim area during those trips, you can come out to a meetup. Sure, cool. Again, in Vegas, I don't think we'll have the time. But in Anaheim, we should. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it all paid. That's always the stressor, right? Is until everything's paid, even though on some level, like, yeah, I can afford this, but until it's paid, there's that stress of, especially with flights, that you might check one day and go, all right, well that's not bad. We'll see if it drops tomorrow. And then you look and you go, wow, so that went up by 30% today. We did have some of that with a couple of trips, so I've got my fingers crossed that doesn't happen this time out. But yeah, so I just wanted to give a quick update because I'm excited. I'm excited for this summer. I think it's going to be a fun summer, and it's going to be the summer we intended to have in 2020. So, in 2020, we were supposed to see Tool. That got canceled. We were supposed to go on a trip to Vegas and Anaheim without kids. That had to be canceled. We had so much that was canceled in 2020. It was such a sad time. And now we want to go out. We want to do stuff and have some fun while we do that. So, thank you guys so much for all your support. And again, it does mean that when I'm on holiday, I tend to upload more to this channel than I do to the hockey channel. And considering how little shorts pay, like during the last trip, I was like, well, I could use shorts. Not making that mistake again. Shorts really don't. They're just, anyways. YouTube's trying. It's YouTube's attempt to do a TikTok, and it just no. I think last month on this channel, I think shorts generated, I want to say 12 cents. I want to say 12 cents. And I know on my main channel it was $2. I was like, wow, that's not enough to buy cat food. So there's that. Anyways, and we're of course going to be making sure we've got people watching our animals while we're gone, which is a big part of what worries me when we're gone is, are the animals okay? So I will check in multiple times. How are the cats? Especially Bear doesn't like strangers. Shadow doesn't like strangers. And we have the rabbits, of course. Are the rabbits eating everything? That kind of thing. But we have time, and we'll get it all figured out. And I'm kind of excited. And this time with Disney, it's going to be interesting too because I've done the lightsaber. I have my own R2 unit, which is fantastic. And at some point, R2, we're going to figure out a way to incorporate you into both channels, and it's going to be great. But he's at my feet every time I do a video because I know at some point I'm gonna figure out something really cool with him, likely for this channel. But at any rate, thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot, and it does mean that now going to Star Wars Land, I've done the really cool stuff. Maybe there'll be new cool stuff when we go down there. I do know that the characters that they have walking around Disneyland change from time to time. It would be great to have my picture taken with some of the other Star Wars characters because I'm a big Star Wars fan. But it is a fun time, and yeah, looking forward to it. And we've never been in Disney during the summer. One thing that prepared me for that was being there for the Saturday by myself when I'd had the flu the day before, and they let me go in on Saturday even though I hadn't had a ticket initially, and the park was full, like it was 100% full. So I now know what that park looks like when it's 100% full. At the very least, not being there with kids will make it a lot easier. So we won't be lining up for the little kid rides. We won't be dealing with kids that are complaining that they're hot and they're tired and we can't have that food. Can we have that food? Because every corner you go around in Disneyland, more food. The one complaining is going to be me. Spoiler alert, it's going to be me. But all right. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.